Well, this is interesting. The failure rate for tech companies is actually quite high. Over the last 10 years of data, it looks like about 3% of tech companies actually make it to funding or a liquidity event and exit. And that's a low number. And there's a lot of tech companies. Utah's a very special place, a very vibrant tech community. And there's an overwhelming number, percentage-wise, of tech startups amongst all startups. And so we need to be better than anyone at making sure that a higher percentage succeed. So in the early 2000s, after the dot-com bust, Y Combinator started in Silicon Valley, and it was a new approach to what you might call an incubator or a technology center, but it really was mentorship driven. It wasn't about money, it wasn't about a lot of typical things you think, it was about mentorship primarily. And so then, a few years later in Boulder, Colorado, one called Techstars started up as well, and Techstars had a very successful first year. I watched it, read about it, studied it, contacted the founder, asked some questions, and I said, Utah needs this. I thought about doing it a couple years ago, but that was right as the economy was the way it was. So we decided to wait a year or two to get going, and so 2010 was the year we chose to do it. And it just, the data has come out now from both those programs and a few others like it, that this is the best way to start tech companies because it improves greatly the percentage of success rate. So for instance, instead of having 3% succeed, the 39 companies in Techstars in its first 3 seasons, it's had a 70% success rate in terms of funding or exits. They've even had a great number of those sell out and create wealth for the founders. So that kind of inversion of the success rate and failure rate is really exciting, and Utah needs it, and that's why we started it. And then, interestingly enough, my friend Rob Kuntz and I were independently starting our own, and then found out about one another and decided to merge our efforts into one big effort called BoomStartup.